Death Noodles keeps getting worse and worse, and I'm not gonna lie to you, a little bit of me is wondering if perhaps he's doing it on purpose. After everything that's gone on with Papa Gut and all of that stuff, which was just an absolute, complete and utter mess, Def Noodles keeps tweeting more and more obnoxious things, keeps saying more and more obnoxious things in his videos, and keeps generally being more and more obnoxious. At least in my opinion, and in the opinion of many people online. So you may be wondering, well, what is this about? What has Def Noodles said that's so terrible? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what he said, and maybe you won't see it as that bad. Maybe you'll agree with him. That's grand. But I just think at this point it's a little bit ick. Before I do show you though, and before I tell you my thoughts and the thoughts of a couple of other people on this, I want to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Keemstar. Keemstar are an absolutely wonderful and fantastic phone case brand, which are the reason that no matter how many times I drop my phone, it has not completely broken into smithereens. Because I drop my phone a lot, because I drop everything a lot, so much so that I've swapped to shatterproof plastic glasses. So all their cases use Chi-Tech 2.0 shock absorbing technology, which gives their impact cases like this one that I'm using right now drop protection of up to 6.6 feet, and their ultra impact cases like this one, which you can see has extra bumpers on the corner for the extra protection, offers drop protection of up to 9.8 feet. And I want to show you how good these are, so I'm going to drop this for you so you can see, but first let me show you that my phone is working and not broken in any way. I wish it would focus on the phone. Also, isn't this design so cool? I love this so much. This is one of their print designs that they had available. They have loads of different print designs as well, like really, really cool ones. They can fit like whatever style, whatever you're into. I have loads of different types of ones because I change my opinion on my style every second day. Like here are some of my print ones, so you can see how often I change my style, and also they fit with different outfits and stuff. This one's also compostable. And this other one that I showed you earlier is actually a customizable case, so you can see it says VangelinaSkov up there, which is really cool, and some of my other custom cases. But yeah, they have loads and loads of customizable options like that are just super cool, as well as the print options, so definitely worth looking at them. But for the drop test, let's do that. I'm going to stand on my chair. It's falling away from me. We're gonna drop this onto my very messy desk here. I actually had to do that 3 times because I kept getting the angle wrong for the shot, so my phone is still fine after dropping it 3 times. And if for some reason you still don't believe me, well, here's the floor. Also still fine. Anyway, yeah, the phone cases, they're protective, they're really cool looking, and as well as all of that, they also have an antimicrobial coating which kills up to 99% of bacteria, and they're also non-toxic and non-hazardous. And as well as that, they're also made from 65% plant-based and recycled materials. So they're just all around fantastic. I genuinely would recommend them so much. So if you want to get a really cool case for yourself, or you want to get one as a gift for somebody else, because what says I love you more, then please don't break your phone. You can go to casetify.com/Vangelina to get 15% off your order. There is also a link for that in the description for you to check out as well. So thank you Keemstar so much for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get on with the rest of it. And actually, before I get into the rest of it, I want to say again, please ignore that I'm wearing pajamas. I swear to God, I normally wear real normal clothes in videos. I just happened to not be doing that today and kind of didn't realize that you would be able to see my pajamas when I did that angle. Anyway, yeah, let's go on and talk about Def Noodles, right? So like I already said, he's been doing some pretty questionable things lately. Now, I will preface all of this by saying, because people seem to have no sense of nuance, me criticizing Def Noodles is not me saying I despise Def Noodles and he is the worst human to ever have existed. I'm not saying that. I am, however, taking liberty to criticize him here. So somebody responded to a tweet that he made saying, "You want to educate others on comedy so we can understand your jokes? Genius." And Def Noodles decided to respond to this with, "Go educate yourself at the end of the barrel of a loaded shotgun." So let's break that down. Somebody was essentially essentially implying that he's not funny because if you have to explain a joke, it's not funny. And Def Noodles responded to that by telling somebody that they should off themselves. Now, clearly saying this will not actually physically harm this person, but it's still a very, very awful thing to do to somebody, especially as like a YouTuber. You get a lot of death threats as a YouTuber, and you get a lot of people telling you to off yourself like all the time. So I assume Dennis is no stranger to this as well, so why he would want to say that to somebody else completely baffles me. I also just think we've all accepted in general that that's not acceptable to do. Didn't we all accept this at some point? Why are we pretending that we didn't all decide that, yeah, this is actually like a really not nice thing to do? So Def Noodles decided to go ahead and defend his choices to tell somebody to off themselves by saying something along the lines of, people should be told to go to hell more often. Now, Def Noodles. I refuse to believe that Def Noodles is an idiot. So for to go off my theory that he is not, in fact, a complete and utter moron, then we can assume, right, that he knows that telling somebody to go to hell and telling somebody to off themselves are two completely different things. That's like saying telling someone to feck off is the same as saying, I hope that you get hit by a car and die. Like, that's like saying those two things are the same, which they're not. Oh, people need to be told to go to hell more often. That's not what you did. That's not what you did. And also, like, it's not like this person said anything that was particularly horrible. I mean, clearly it doesn't feel nice to be criticized on the internet, and they were snarky about it. Like, they're like, oh, you're genius, like you have to explain your jokes to people. Clearly that's not a nice thing to hear, and it is a little bit snarky. But it's not the most awful thing anybody's ever said to anybody. Like, it is criticism at the end of the day, as harshly as it's put. It's criticism. So feeling the need to be so aggressive about it just makes me wonder, first of all, if he is like really insecure in his comedy. I wouldn't be surprised by, because like he's just going all the time, I'm a comedian, I'm a comedian, I'm a comedian, they're jokes, they're jokes, they're jokes, I'm a comedian, I've done all this comedy. Nobody says it that much if they're not insecure about it. Slightly off topic, but all of this has spurred me to decide that I actually do want to do comedy. Everybody who's been following me for a while is like, Vangelina, are you sure? Like, we love you, but you're not very funny. It is a skill that can be learnt, and I want to learn it, and then maybe like go to an open mic night or something. I think it would be fun, because I do love stand-up. I love stand-up so much, and all of this has just proven to me that anybody can be a comedian if you say it enough. So yes, I'm going to be a comedian. That's what I've decided. No, I don't want to go ahead and like start a comedy career. I just think it would be fun to learn a bit of comedy and then maybe do an open mic night like once, and then somehow perhaps incorporate potentially jokes into my videos. Can you imagine a world where I make jokes and they're actually funny and they land and people understand them? Yeah, this is the thing as well. Like, Death Noodles is being criticized for like, oh, you have to explain your jokes to people, and he's still going blah, 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 blah. Like, I have to explain my jokes to people all the time, and I accept that that means that I'm not funny ha-has, I'm not a comedian. I think I'm hilarious, and I know that I'm the only person who thinks I'm hilarious, so maybe he should just accept that he's the only person who thinks he's hilarious. Now, I'm sure people do find him funny, like, stuff is subjective, I guess. Some people really like Gabby Hanna's poetry, so I guess some people find Def Noodles funny. I don't know if I should include that or not. And maybe it was too mean, I don't know. Now, beyond this, he's also gotten in a little bit of trouble as well for one of the guests he says he's going to have on his podcast. Now, I apologize, I don't actually know how to say this man's name, but Chris Delia or Delia. I'm going to say Delia, and I'm probably wrong. Correct me in the comments if I am. But Chris Delia is apparently going to be on Death Noodles podcast, which probably isn't actually happening. I'll tell you why in a second. A couple of people were mad. Somebody said, way to platform people who commit essay on a minor. Congratulations, you must be so proud. Between him and Christian Walker, who I still don't know who Christian Walker is, I'm sorry. You just promote the best people. Who's next? And Death Noodles responded going, Chris Delia podcast this Friday. You don't want to miss this one. Chris Delia, are you hype or what? So just so you're aware, in case you don't know, because I actually didn't know this at all, the allegations against Chris Delia is that he was minors, texting underage fans on Instagram, eliciting inappropriate pictures from them while they were underage, and then of course possessing CP because of that, and then also sending them pictures. So quite a few allegations there. But the thing is, it is likely, as one person pointed out, that Def Noodles isn't actually having him on the podcast and he's just going to be talking about him on the podcast, because somebody said, is your master plan really to unironically promote Chris D'Elia until Friday just to pull a sleazy bait and switch on your audience and do a boring podcast on the Chris D'Elia essay allegations? And Def Noodles retweeted this going, Chris D'Elia podcast this Friday. Chris D'Elia, are you ready? So, yeah, it seems like he was just trying to get a bit of outrage here, just so people would end up watching the episode, because they're like, oh my god, I can't believe Def Noodles would do this, we have to go watch it. So this all has me wondering, right, is he just trying to keep the outrage against him going? Because the way the internet goes, people get angry at you and then it kind of dies off, right? But maybe he's just trying to keep the outrage going because it gets his views up. Outrage does do that. People want to hate watch and people want to watch to see what you said wrong, like, and then keeping the outrage going for like, oh, I'm having this person on my podcast so that people will watch it, when it's actually just talking about him. And then technically Def Noodles hasn't actually done anything wrong, but he's gotten all the views for pretending like he was going to do something slightly shady. Slightly shady? Pretty shady. I'm just wondering though how long he's gonna keep up this like trying to outrage people, which again is just my opinion of what's happening, but it really seems like it. Like, everybody's angry with him, and what's he gonna do? Use that to his advantage, or just like leave it to the wind and hope it dies down? It seems like he's just trying to use it to his advantage, which, I don't know, make of that what you will. But do let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that he's just using all of this and trying to get people angry at him just for the attention? Or do you think that he's actually just like getting people angry at him accidentally? Oh, and one more note, that tweet about the shotgun thing is gone. He said that it got mass reported, so Twitter took it down. But then somebody showed a screenshot which showed where that tweet should be, saying tweet deleted by the author. So that's a little bit sus. But I don't know. Anyway, that's going to be it for now. So like I said, you can comment, you can like and share it with somebody who you think might find it interesting. If you would like to support the channel, then you can check out the Patreon or the YouTube memberships, links in the description. It really helps me out and you get lots of extra benefits and stuff with that. You can also subscribe, which helps me out immensely too, and turn on all notifications. And if you would like to keep up with me personally and my potential career in comedy, you can follow me on social media everywhere at VangelinaSkov, and I also have a vlogging channel which is linked in the description too. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and thank you to Keemstar for sponsoring it. Don't forget that you can go to keemstar.com/Vangelina to get 15% off your order, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!